Hey guys, how's it going? This is Delonte, aka 2K, and you are chilling with 2K. So, I just watched the newest episode of Supergirl, Falling. This is by far the best episode of Supergirl that I have seen all season. Now, this is my first video that I've actually done for Supergirl, um, since I started this channel and everything. But I've been watching it since day one, and it took some time. It started off really slow, but it's definitely progressed. And this is it right here. This is the best episode that has been on all season, um, from start to finish. So let's talk about the good. Let's talk about the bad, and let's go ahead and dig into it. So this episode is basically about Supergirl getting infected with red kryptonite, and every single iteration of red kryptonite that I've seen in any TV show or TV series has been slightly different but slightly similar. In Smallville, it affected it just lowered his inhibitions. It didn't necessarily change his personality completely because he was still Clark inside, but it just lowered his inhibition, so he kind of stopped caring as much. Um, in this particular case for Supergirl, she did a full 180, and it just completely changed her to the dark side, to Dark Kara. And she stopped caring, but she also just she went down the deep end on this one. And I'm telling you, Melissa Benoist, man, I bought it. This episode took me on such a serious roller coaster ride that I caught myself tearing up at points because I'm like, man, like I bought it. Her performance in this was just, uh, I amazing, absolutely amazing. She had me wrapped in. I completely believed it when she turned, and I completely believed it when she turned back. Man, it just it I'm getting off the rail here, much like she did. So let's rein it back in a little bit. Um, we're just gonna start from the top. So when my boy, getting it in the office, my boy. I'm proud of him. I'm so proud of him because after him fawning over Carr for so long, he's finally getting his, and I'm happy for him. Um, However, I don't like her. Excuse my French, but she's a bitch, and I don't like her too much. But I'm happy for him. I'm happy he's getting his for right now. We'll see where that relationship goes because once Kara got infected with the red kryptonite, she kind of got her the other assistant. She's so unimportant to me that I can't even remember her name. She got her fired. So we're kind of gonna see what's gonna happen with Wynn's relationship with her. Um, Based on the preview, it kind of looks like they're still talking, but I don't know. We'll see what happens later on down the line. Um, but yeah, I'm happy for him. I'm glad he's doing this thing. He deserves it. It's about time. The Cahoon. I don't know a whole lot about the Cahoon. The most I know about them is that they're just very violent, and that's about all that I know. So if you guys know more about it, let me know down in the comments. I'd love to learn more about who they are. You know, let me know about some comics to read so I can find out more about who these people are or anything like that. The more I can learn about it, the better. Because that just makes the viewing experience that much better. Um, but that was a great little side arc and a way segue for them to figure out, well, something's not right with Kara. Clearly, something's not right. Um, Man, Cat Grant in this episode, she kind of got on my nerves a little bit because she was just tooting her own horn so much, and man, she gets on a high horse. She really gets on a high horse, but at times, rightfully so. At other times, I just want to knock her down a little bit because she can be too much for me sometimes. Don't get me wrong, the character portrayal is fantastic. It's great. You know, I love what Calista Flockhart is doing with the character, but just there are times where it can be a little much for me personally. Um, but when she got thrown off that roof, man, I'm telling you, I knew that she was going to jump down and save her. I kind of saw that one coming because they weren't going to kill her off. But man, I'm telling that as soon as that happened, I said, "There's a ripple. The repercussions of this are not going to go easy." Like it's and as soon as she looked back up at her and Supergirl flew away and she looked up, she knew. She was like, I can't just let this slide. I can't. So she went on the air, denounced Supergirl as being, you know, the great person that she's been backing her to be. And I am so excited to find out where it's going to go from here now. Because that's one of the things that I like. I like the direction that the show is going in right now because it's taking a little bit of a darker tone. I don't necessarily want it to, you know, go extremely dark, but I like the fact that it's not just, oh, happy-go-lucky supervillain of the day, let's go save the day and solve problems and all of this stuff. It's got some depth to it, which I like. You know, there's a roller coaster going on in this show, and that's something that I really appreciate. And this episode really proved it. Like, it took it there, and man, this was a great episode. So Supergirl and Alex's relationship has been strained. She kind of let Alex know what was good. She laid it out for her. She said what Alex couldn't say, and that really put a big strain on their relationship, which I'm really interested to see where that's going to go. This whole episode has just made me so much more interested to see what's going to happen next. You know, every episode I'm like, okay, let's watch the next one, you know? But this one, I'm like, bring it on. Like, I want it now, you know? I want to know what's going to happen next. I'm ready. And who knew that it was going to be Maxwell Lord that created the Red Kryptonite? Because I think in the original comics it was Batman that created it to, you know, as a safeguard against Superman if he ever went off the rail. But, you know, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I like it, the fact that they did that with Maxwell Lord. That's cool. It's weird to me that they hadn't figured this out prior to, since Superman's been around for so long. But yeah, it's just a TV show. You can only do so much. But yeah, I think it's cool how they did that, and I realized the fact that he kind of stepped up. Like he stepped up and owned it, because it's true what Alex said. He turned her into what he was so worried about her becoming. He did it. So at this point, he said, "Yeah, I did it. I'm gonna step up and I'm gonna do what I have to do to fix it." And that, I respect him for that. I really do appreciate that, because, you know, he could have been that he's not just your one note villain, and that's something that I like. He truly believes that what he's doing is for the good of the city, and, you know, as I've said many times before, that's what makes a good villain. So, well, you guys probably haven't heard me say that, but I say it all the time. But I like the fact that he definitely stepped up and said and owned it, and said, this is something that I did, so I'm going to help you fix it. And whether you want to believe me or not, I'm going to do it. So you might as well just accept that. And I love that. So big up to you, Max. You're the man. I appreciate that, and everybody else does too. Your weapon saved the day. Let's talk about John Jones. He looks great. I feel like this was finally the actual best look that we got of him, because I feel like a lot of it was practical, the prosthetics and all that stuff, the makeup and everything. A lot of it seemed, you know, more practical than not. than CGI, which is what it usually looks like. And I could be wrong. I'm not the biggest on being able to tell the difference, but I can kind of tell when I see it, especially if it's really obvious. But in this case, it was done so well, which is what you want. It was done so well that you really kind of it's kind of in question for me. So I'm gonna say that it was prosthetics and it was practical and it looked amazing. It absolutely looked amazing, and I hate the fact that he just kind of gave up. I feel like he could have flown away and still, because his reason was, I'm doing it to protect you. I'm like, dude, come on. You could have flown away and been kept on doing what you've been doing, protecting them just like you have been. You being locked up in a cell isn't protecting them any. So, I mean, he's literally the only person that can take her down. It's always been said. Martian Manhunter is equals in many cases surpasses Superman. He's just as strong, if not stronger than Superman. And he's the only person that can really, really put him down in a bare knuckle brawl. We'll see what happens with Batman v Superman when that comes out. But Batman, he kind of has to put on a suit and all that stuff. If it's just John, he can do it in a bare knuckle brawl, and that was shown here. He's the only person that could really take her down, and I loved it. Great fight. I loved it. I loved how he showed his powers. And this show is making me appreciate Martian Manhunter a lot more. He's definitely becoming one of my favorites in the DC universe just from this show. So it's really cool. And this isn't even, traditional John Jones, but the way that they portray him makes me want to learn more about John Jones and Martian Manhunter, who he is, what he's about, his origin, and all of that. So that definitely makes it interesting. If any of you guys want to, let me know about some comics and stuff to look up, and to look for, definitely let me know in the comments, and I'll definitely look those up, because I'm more interested in finding out more about John and his origin and everything, because this show has definitely did that for me. But yeah, he looked amazing. Once again, I'm excited to see where this is gonna go. I'm excited to see what's gonna happen with him, because I definitely want him to. I really do want to see them kind of team up, and with the Flash coming into Supergirl in a couple of weeks too, it's like there's a strong possibility we'll get a little pseudo Justice League going on if we can get Supergirl, which will be AKA Superman in a sense. We get Arrow, which is technically, CW's Batman. We get the Flash. We get Martian Manhunter in there. And then, hell, they got Legends of Tomorrow now too. So, you got those guys coming in doing their thing. So, there's a strong possibility that we can get a CW version of Justice League. And that would be off the chain for sure. But yeah, like I said, this was a absolutely fantastic episode. I love the way that they treated Red Kryptonite. I love the way that they treated Supergirl and how it affected her. I love the way they treated the relationships in this. Speaking of which, her and Jimmy, that was literally about to come to full fruition, and Jimmy said, "Nope, not today. You done it. You done did it, and I don't want anything to do with it right now." So he's like, "I just need some time. I need to take some time myself." I can get it. I understand it. Because she was coming on really strong, really strong. So she kind of scared him a little bit. So, yeah, he's like, "I need some time to process what just happened," because he knows what she's gonna say. They both know how they feel about each other. And I don't know if she knows. She may be kind of oblivious to it, but he knows, and he's just like, I can't do it right now. So, that's gonna be interesting to see what happens with that. But like I said, this has been a fantastic episode. Best episode of the season by far. Can't wait to see where they go from here. It's gonna be, for right now, for me, it's gonna be hard to top this episode, because this was definitely a roller coaster ride, and I was in it for the long haul. I was in it for the whole way through. This was just absolutely fantastic. This kind of, this episode competes with The Flash for me, because The Flash is probably the best thing on TV right now. And this episode definitely, it's cool though, you know, because this episode, as great as it is, and then The Flash is coming in, it's like, all right, you ready for it? I'm like, okay, that's what's up. So yeah, this was a great episode. But that's all I got for you today. Like I always say, comment down below. Let me know what you think about this video. Let me know what you think about the episode. Let's start a conversation about comics, about Supergirl, about Martian Manhunter, about anything you want. Comment down below. Let's start a conversation. That's the whole reason why I'm doing this. You can find me here. You can find me on Twitter at @D_Tyrell. Yeah, hit me up. Let's talk. Let's have a conversation. Thank you guys once again for chilling with me. Until next time.